Hey, how you doing today? Here I got the Husqvarna trimmer that I use. It usually works pretty good, but as of late, it's been giving me a bunch of shit. Now I had to replace here's actually the carburetor that came off of it. This is the original, and for, I think it was 16 bucks, I got a whole nother carburetor, a gasket, some lines there, a couple air filters, a couple bulbs, a couple filters. Here's the rest of what I have in the box. Okay, and there's a couple other things. It comes apart really easy. There's two screws to hold the carburetor on. I mean, two nuts. I'll show you the reverse. I'm showing you how to put it back together, I guess. But I've already got the lines on. They're easy. It's all, the top one here is the exit. The bottom one's the intake. You want to run that line all the way down to the bottom here. Put a new filter on it, and you want to run the other one up to here. Easy peasy. You know what I mean? If you get it mixed up, you just press on there and feel which one's blowing air out. The one that blows air out is the exit. The other one's the intake. Okay? This is a little China made. Everything looks like it's going to fit okay. Gave me a nice big gasket in there to put on. Okay? Then I get one on the outside here. My biggest problem is my fingerprints. I guess I should have went inside, wiped my hands off, but I'm at work and we're getting what we're getting. Okay, and so the hardest thing you got to worry about is right there is that little linkage that just fits into there. This linkage, there's a piece that fits right onto there. You'll see it. Okay, and to replace the carburetor, it's easy peasy. I think there's what, 2 screws, because now I come through, and where's my gasket up here? Is this the gasket? So it's like going like that, or is it going like this? Let's see. Okay, I think it goes like that. There's a little hole there. There's a little hole right there. Okay, so that's how that goes on. Then we take this, we line up the holes, and one of my lights is out in here too. I should have fixed the light, I guess, before I. What you got to do is you got to make sure you put this up there. That's your choke. Oh. Doing this with one hand, trying to hold the phone. Sorry. Okay, you stick your choke through, and you got to line up your 2 little bolts there. Okay, you can stick your choke back down to get it out of the way. You can see your bolts sticking through. Right there, and right there, you make sure everything's clean. I had to clean everything. And you have 2 bolts. And they are, 2 nuts. They are right there. Okay? Now what I usually do is I just stick it in the end here. And I very carefully pick it up and put it in right there. And I get them started. Again, I'm doing this with one hand and with a bad light, I know. But if you do the exact opposite how I'm putting this together, you're going to have no problems. Okay. Again, this is at work. It's not my normal shop. Doing a little left-handed work here. And I also did a couple other things on this to try to clean it up and get it to run good. It was bogging down. It wouldn't run. It wouldn't cut grass. It would idle a little bit. It would start. Blah blah blah. But when I was trying to cut some grass with it, it just would die. When I pumped the bulb, it would run like a raped ape. Okay. And rather than mess with the carb, I just figured for 16 bucks, I'd just buy a new one. Rebuild kit costs more than that. But we're almost done with the carb replacement. You can see how easy that was. Can you see in there? Oh, there you go. You can see the two. You can see how the choke opens and closes. The choke is having a slight, not closing quite all the way. If you can see that, it's catching on the gasket. So I'm gonna have to trim that back a little bit. So what I actually do is I'll pull these back off, trim the gasket back a little bit, and then, or maybe move it around, see if I can get it to not. It's not closing all the way, you can see it. It probably won't hurt anything, but you might as well do it. You know what I mean? It's not going to kill me. And then, while we're here, I'll just show you what to do real quick. Now, you're just going to put your new air filter in. Just easy as peasy like that. And then your cover here, and that just goes right back together like that. Okay, I'm not showing you, I'm going to be taking it apart to trim that gasket, but it's simple. Okay, now I cut the gasket back a little bit, and you can see how it goes all the way. You can see the lever goes all the way down now, closes nice and securely. You want to make sure you tighten these down enough without stripping them. Okay, you want to throw your air filter in. I could probably use a little bit of trimming as well, but we're just going to put it back together like that. I have some more stuff to show you on this. Here, I'm going to have to put that back on. There it goes. And you just put that back in so it looks pretty much nice and flush. Nice and tight. Boom, boom. Everything works. See how that comes all the way? See how that comes all the way back now? Goes all the way up, closes all the way. There's your half and your final. Okay, now this thing, I should put a little gas in it and start it right up. But what I've done is you can see I've removed the recoil because I tried to clean everything off inside there. Clean the tank off. Now we're going to come over here to the exhaust side. This is one of the things that I wanted to show you. Now, right there you can see right into the piston. You can see the piston moving up and down here. Let me see if I can get it right in there. You see it? You just see it moving up and down. Okay. Now you want to clean this surface here off real nice. Okay, and then it gets a heat shield slash gasket. Then the muffler. Now right here is where they claim that there's a problem. Okay, right here there is a little now there's two bolts that go inside there too. I'm just not showing you. I'm trying to get to. There's a screen right there. When I opened this up, this screen was clogged solid. Now, one of the things that I saw, I forget which way this went. Crap. I believe it went down. assume it went. But that's how it went there. On the screen, there's one end that's longer than the other that fits in the hole, and there's 4 Phillips head screws that go right in there. But this screen, in this area here, was entirely gummed up with old fuel oil, you know, the 2-stroke oil, and the screen was clogged solid. So I cleaned it, and I'm going to put it back together. And we're going to put some gas in it and see what she does. Okay? But first off, I'm going to put 2 bolts into the big holes. Here they are. Now, alright, I'm going to need 2 hands for this, so I'm going to sign off. Okay, after you put those 4 screws in, those 2 bolts in, you're going to have to put the cover back. Okay, cover goes back, it's secured with 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. There are Torx. And I'm just trying to figure out what size Torx they were, because okay, that was a T25 Torx. Okay, and that pretty much takes apart this whole thing, except for the carburetor bolts, or carburetor nuts rather, and they're 5/16. Standard thread. Sorry for my fingers. Now everything I've done here was to clean it and make it run just a little better. Clean machine runs a little cooler. The whole 9 yards, everybody knows that kind of stuff. Okay. I took off the starter, the string starter. It feels like that bolt's stripped. And screw rather. That one's okay. And that one's okay. I'll make a video on how to fix a strip screw in plastic right after I do this. But, now I'm going to put on the starter. And away we go. Okay, it's going to be oriented like that. It takes 2 bolts right here. They go in the side there. And then this 1 bolt here goes right into there. And 1 screw. Okay? I'm going to put it back, finish putting her back together, and then I'll fire everything up. Thanks for watching. Alright, I neglected to show you how to put this piece on here. This is just 2 screws. This is just a little heat shield that goes underneath the cover by your exhaust. Okay? And you're going to come down and put your other cover on so we don't get burnt. Then we do these 3 screws. I've already put gas in it, so once I tighten these up, I will go outside and start her up. Hopefully. Whoops, upside down. Okay, and now that being said, we're going to pump this till you feel the bulb getting hard. There it is, right there. And what this does is actually pulls it from the gas tank up through the carburetor and down through there again. Okay, now I'm going to set you down for just a second, and we're going to give her a pull and see if she